see the patterns Resurgence builds in a draft just not being abused yet. And I'm afraid to see as they move up the scale and the higher end teams, if this pattern that they build eventually just is the reason they lose a game. It is. I mean, every pick you're like, well, that doesn't surprise me. That's like what they like to do. They're the riskiest, most interesting pick they made the whole day was Zeratul. And I don't know.
I want to say Resurgence, like, they have the benefit of being the newcomer. They have the benefit of being the surprise Cinderella story, and nobody knows what their comfort picks are when they're going into games. I'll be honest, I don't think many teams have put in the homework on Resurgence. It's just another name in a tournament. Like, they're like, okay, it's another newcomer. But Resurgence coming in with the shot calling power that they have, people are going to start to take notice, and it's going to be something where it becomes more difficult for them to secure those those early game heroes later on with you know, the Janas, the ETCs, all the early picks that they love to comfort grab. Are going to be much more difficult for them to get as they continue to make a name for themselves. And they're doing it right now on the back of 2Ark, who is up against the ropes here. 2Ark, the favorite going into this series, and certainly still has what it takes to come back, but Resurgence is hungry, and 2Ark is hungry as well for the Forest, as Lunara is a pickup, and maybe it is going to be Zeratul. What a great combo that we saw earlier.
2Ark, not this is 2Ark, not Resurgence. Sorry, so
no,
that would be a little bit out of their go-to.
It's still not a bad combination, though, as far as the synergy goes.
I agree. I don't think that it's bad. I just don't know if it would be the go-to. Like, okay, let's think about what is Resurgence going to pick next. Surprise, surprise. They have Jaina. They have ETC. They have the Uther. What are they going to do? Sonya's pretty much one of their go-to. A melee assassin somewhere in there. Thrall is off the table. I want to see 2Ark maybe take away from the straightforward exact stuff that Resurgence loves to do. It's just... I want to see teams stop letting Resurgence do what they do, right? And it's not even like they're breaking out of the meta and just like suddenly changing their play crazy. Like they know what's their good, and then it's like until it's broken, they aren't going to fix it, right? Type situation. But it's just really sad to see that they haven't made any move here on this at all to try and pull out of that. I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, they're going to go Illidan instead.
Oh, so
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
Now, hold on a minute. I was going to say, did 2Ark actually do their homework and know that Resurgence has been running? Oh, you're wrong! So what is happening? Mom! They picked Illidan! This is incredible! I don't even... What is happening? Illidan is back! He's back, Dread!
Whoa here. Okay. I don't know about back. He's picks. Congratulations. I don't know about back. He was first pick, first ban, 2 invulnerability frames, was the most broken hero in the entire game. To, like, congratulations, you do a little bit more damage. He is a decent answer to the Lunara. I'm not surprised they went with a melee assassin. Obviously, with Equinox on the team, he loves those melee assassins. He plays them very often. I am a little surprised that it was the Illidan, though. I will agree with you there. I feel like, especially on this map, Illidan strives in maps where the distance to safety is very low, right, or very long, right? So on big maps like Cursed Hollow, so like when you fight in the middle of the nowhere. Sorry, I gotta invite you to the lobby. I apologize.
My name's Josheb.
Oh yeah.
You got me.
But anyways, what I was talking about is the distance to safety to turrets and everything else, right? So on this map, the distance from where you're going to actually fight over each one of the shrine spawns to safety is actually pretty short compared to the maps like Cursed Hollow, where Illidan kind of shows his strength, and that might be something that kind of makes him a little bit more difficult to walk away from here. Also, keep in mind, Murden is going to be picked up. I do think Lunara definitely struggles against Illidan, without a doubt. Kilthos has a decent amount of caster damage that's going to help him with this. Stitches is pretty weak into Illidan, honestly, for the most part. Rhaegar's pretty good against him. Not great, but not bad by any means. So it's not like they don't have things that deal with Illidan. And this map specifically, I don't feel like there's anything that separates him from being the better pick here. But we're going to find out. Illidan, I mean... Like I said, I don't think he's back, but he's definitely going to be showing to see if they can make him work here. How many spells he can dodge with his ultimate is going to be absolutely crucial to how well he succeeds in this game.
I'm still like, I'm legitimately like elated that we see Illidan. I know that you can't see because of the casting setup, but I am completely like I really want to see some awesome plays with Illidan. I miss him being on the scene. I really badly want to see some incredible plays. And with Illidan here, he doesn't have the support, I don't think, that's necessary other than the Divine Shield from Uther. But I still want him to do well. Do you think that Illidan can stand by himself without the support of a second support? Or is he okay with just Uther?
Against their composition, like Illidan's one of those heroes where it's like it depends on how many mistakes your opponents make, really. So like, can Illidan wipe a 5-man team on his own with only a D shield? If your opponents have poor synergy, yes. Illidan's one of the hardest heroes to deal with in the game if you do not have the teamwork to stagger all your damage, all your focus, time it around his evasion, time it around his shield, time it around his ultimate. There's so many things to worry about against Illidan. He is very hard to make work if the teams are coordinated, but he's very he can body them honestly with only a D shield if he plays it perfectly, especially Lunara, who's going to take a lot of damage. Also, I mean, we might as well, since we're picking Illidan, feel the hatred of 10,000 years. Go throw out that hunt, get on the Lunar as deep as you can. I don't know if that's what we're gonna see here, but I mean, I'm worried about Resurgence's draft. I agree, but I'm not too confident in the Lunar pick from 2Arc either. So this is gonna be an interesting game.
Well, Resurgence is actually going to be on the right side in the red trunks for the first time today, with Daihu on ETC, Equinox on Illidan, Killick on Jaina, Shot on Zagara, and Rixie on Uther.
And in the blue trunks, we are going to have 2Arc here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have LZ Gamer going to be on the Lunara. Crowan is going to be on the Kel'Thas once more. Tiger JK is going to be on the support. Rhaegar Trader once again on Stitches. And Sunshine is going to be onto the Muradin. So, again, we see the head-to-head in the middle lane here. Both teams going blow for blow, getting the stun out. And the minute that hook is down, they essentially have no advantage. I'd like to see them play a little bit safer here. But we'll see if, again, Resurgence is able to snowball the lead into their favor. Again, flick it. They're going to be running a 1-4. Nothing new here. Same thing every game. They do it back and forth, and then let's see if they win the early game again. And if they do, are they able to snowball enough to where there is no coming back?
It definitely looks like we're going to have a 4-man rotation here from 2Arc coming down. They are going to be met head-on. Equinox taking a lot of damage here as Illidan. He needs to make sure he has a way out. Crowan taking a lot of damage, quickly left over by Illidan. Illidan grabbing a first kill here. Illidan is stunned. He does not have the health necessary to stay in, however. He is going to have to back off along with his team. But again, the first kill of the match going to Resurgence.
And it's all about the Jane ATC, just not respecting it, getting a squishy a little bit too far. You're going to have a bad time. I mean, it's honestly nothing new. It's to the point where it's just like, I'm not even surprised. I'm just like, well, this is going to keep happening, and teams are going to keep falling into the same situation. Just Crowan overextending a little bit there. The Jane is slow in the early aggressions enough to get a kill there, and no response really right now, but meanwhile, Shot on top might have a bad time here. Stun isn't out yet. Gravity Lapse. Oh, he dodges the main damage, though. This might be enough. Dodges the stun.
Oh, wow. Dodges the stun as well. Is he going to be able to get out? No, he's taking a lot of damage from the poison there. He needs to get a sip. He is going to go down. There goes, excuse me. It looks like LZ Gamer might also go down, but no, Crowan is actually going to be the sacrificial lamb, and that's a 2-for-0. The drink was enough to keep Shot up. Surprisingly, Lunara's damage still not enough to take him down.
I mean, Lunara is still a walking dot, and that heal is going to be better in the early game than that well. Shot doing a really great job there. Actually, the most important part, in my opinion, to that was not dodging the Muradin stun, which obviously it did secure it, but dodging the damage, the empowered Q from Kel'Thas made it to where he couldn't use the empowered Gravity Lapse to ensure that he hits a root onto him. So really well done from Shot there, winning that top lane. The rotations are coming out from both teams with the 2 shrines here. Equinox getting the free cap, excuse me, the 1 shrine on the lower half. He's going to get a free shrine here. And Resurgence, same stuff, different game. That's all I got to say so far. Nothing crazy.
You 100% called it. And again, Resurgence using that early lead that we talked about. They pick all early game heroes. They ride that wave into the late game. And I think what you're going to see here is just more safe play from them. I think when we get a duo altar pre-10, it would not surprise me in the least if Resurgence again chose to just give up the enemy altar and just grab their own, trying to do it uncontested until later in the game.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that 2-Arc try and trade with them instead of trying to battle them head-to-head in the early game. That's a mistake a lot of teams are making here. Crowan taking a lot of damage. That Illidan bonus, man, coming into play there. So he stings quite a bit there. The bonus damage mixed with a Rhaegar W. Maybe I'm underestimating that pair a little bit. Excuse me, the W is not on the Illidan. I messed up there. I had the teams mixed up for a second there. But Illidan just naturally doing a lot of damage with the Immolation. So maybe that auto attack bonus was more than I gave credit for. I don't think so, but I mean,
what was it initially? Was it 4 damage?
It's 4 damage bonus.
Yeah. Maybe that was enough to push Equinox on Illidan into the spotlight here. You know, what you can look forward to, Dread, is weeks of Illidan in Quick Match and Hero League if he does manage to pull out this game. And it looks like they may have bitten off more than they can chew here, trying to go in 2 against 4. Oh. A great hook. Daihu, however, using his Q to get out of there. It does look like he is going to be able to get away, but showing a little cockiness here from Resurgence that cost Illidan his life.
I mean, yeah, and it shows how quickly Illidan was able to die against their comp, even though they don't have necessarily the most CC to be able to deal with him. Granted, that is in the earlier half of the game, so it's a little bit different, but it still shows that if Illidan overextends even just a little bit, they might get punished pretty heavily there. The saplings are going to push into the lower half of the map. 1 shrine is going to spawn. Are we going to see 2-Arc risk a death here? Oh gosh, we can't see the game. RIP. Apparently, production.
Oh my goodness. Oh, of course. Of course. That is really upsetting, because that's going to be level 7 is the first time that the group is going to be able to see it. I thought I hit the transition button.
Oh my goodness!
We had such a smooth evening, and then I ruined it. I blew everything. I blew it. Well, you could hear the sounds. If anyone else is interested in watching the Dreadnought Josheb podcast, where they show Resurgence playing fantastic Illidan, I'd like to apologize to everyone really briefly, and then we'll move on. I'm very sorry that we missed the first 7 levels of this game. Resurgence is doing a great job, however, as they clean up Kael'thas yet again, and it looks like Trader is going to have to run away as Sunshine manages to evade for just a little bit longer, but Stitches does end up going down due to the Q power slide of Daihu.
Absolutely the opposite of what we need to see from their type of composition, having the weaker early game there, and they end up risking 2 more deaths there for another shrine. The story of, oh my goodness, we're working on it. Everybody's telling us that we're all failing, but I did fix it. We did fix it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, 2-minute delay.
Oh, that's really, yeah. So it looks like the level lead remains 9 for Resurgence over 8 of 2-Arc, and I'm really excited about seeing the last half of this game.
Yeah, you know, I think it'd be really cool. I definitely like seeing that rather than my forehead in dead intense stare on trying to make sure I don't miss a single thing in this match. So now that we are here and we're playing the actual video game, nothing too crazy here, ladies and gentlemen. We do see a 3/4 level lead. This game is pretty much ran exactly like every other match on this when it comes to Resurgence. In case you wanted to see how this game played out, pretty much view all the other ones in the early game ETC Jaina kills, and that's where we're at. Level lead in their favor. They've ended up winning most of the shrines already as well, and now they're just backing out. We see 2-Arc trying to get some camps here, but 10 advantage hit, and they instantly go mid.
Here come the body blocks onto Stitches. He is not going to be able to make it out of here. That is going to be another kill for the side of Resurgence. In the meantime, 2-Arc does grab their own Merc camp there for that bottom lane, but it is quickly going to be dispatched by the combined Knight of Resurgence, who is heading down. They do manage to pick up Rhaegar here, but the stun onto Illidan, he is eating a lot of damage. Good heal from Uther there to keep him up, though.
Yeah, and he did end up going Metamorphosis no hunt today, so we are getting a little bit weird, but not too weird here with it. Lunara doing her best to clear up the creep on the upper half of the map. She did end up build-wise deciding to go with a less auto-attack, more poke-oriented. I definitely like that from her against the Uther, but it is going to make her ability to kill Illidan a little bit more difficult. And here we see, finally, level 10's achieved. Everybody's committing to this. Everyone seems to be rotating on dead even footing. Double Shrine spawn, Illidan already in position to cap that up on him. We'll see if 2-Arc can finally capitalize on this, or if Illidan is going to body everybody. Keep in mind the retreat routes are absolutely crucial when facing the Illidan. Illidan showing up bottom. Let's see what happens.
It does look like both teams are going to get a little bit of a poke here. Doing a great job of holding bottom so Equinox can quickly grab it. Now he's going to be coming up to join in on this. 2-Arc realizing that bottom has been taken. They did not seize the advantage when they had it. Now here comes Equinox onto, oh, the big maw only grabbing one person. Equinox managing to get down Kael'thas. It is a 5v4. Super good heal onto Trader, however, is going to allow him to get a lot of damage out. Here comes the dance, grabbing two people. That's going to be a wrap-up on Stitches. ETC goes down as well. Equinox finally going to get poisoned down, but no. The heal from Uther allows him to stay up. That's a 1-for-2 trade, and it looks like Equinox is going to be able to grab the second altar as well.
And a little bit of an overextension there on the Rhaegar. Tiger JK is going to end up falling down here, but I really do feel like that team fight kind of showed that maybe Resurgence, they did obviously win it, but they didn't really blow us away with a victory there. They just legitimately, like, almost 100-0 the Kael'thas. He was completely out of the team fight. Granted, he is in the weaker stage of his team fighting and everything else, but he didn't get the Ancestral. It went on to Stitches. Just ultimately what I'm trying to say is Tuark didn't fight that team fight necessarily miraculously, but Equinox on the Illidan and friends had still a little bit of a difficult time saying they could walk away from that a win, and I'm afraid that if this game does make it to the later half and one Ancestral hits on that original kill target, if they don't get a big mosh play, I don't know if they're going to be able to win team fights here, and that was kind of what we were trying to get to a little bit on, is the Illidan going to be good enough right at this point, and I don't honestly know yet.
I will say that it appears Equinox has done a great job of isolating the squishies. Muradin and Stitches are going to have their work cut out for them, trying to keep Illidan away from the ooey gooey center that is Lenara and Kael'thas. He's really been having his way, but down at the bottom, it looks like the revenge is coming out as he is forced to pop Metamorphosis. Great slide forward there. Make sure that he is not hooked, and he does manage to survive, though he did have to blow a rather long cooldown to do it.
Yeah, but the most important thing is to see if he goes into a lane and gets a lot of auto attacks off to reset it before the next shrine spawn, which is not going to be the case. That is a huge disadvantage for the Illidan if they do end up hitting 13 tier. That is not only gains extra health and attack damage, what it's really good at doing is also dodging hard amount of CC when they try and focus on the Illidan. So he has 90 seconds before that's going to be up. Notice how he's going up top to the camp. It's not even that he necessarily wants it. He needs to reset Metamorphosis. That is why he's doing that. And so they need to take advantage of the situation as fast as they possibly can. If you are on the side of Tuark, fight before meta gets back up.
It looks like Daihu is doing a great job of having that intimidating presence that's going to allow them to get it. I'm really disappointed in Tuark not pushing the issue here. They knew that he blew Metamorphosis. They still decided to do a trade, and I feel like that's going to come back to bite them severely later on.
Yeah, it definitely might. At the same time, they did finally hit the 13 tier. I don't know. It's one of those situations where maybe they should capitalize on it, but at the same time, at least they didn't risk any deaths there. They did go blow for blow. They didn't necessarily capitalize that much, but they finally have 13 tier power spike, so their team might be able to answer with a lot of damage here to make a comeback into this game. So just safer play, I agree with you. Maybe not fully capitalized on, but it's better than possibly risking maybe falling a little bit more behind if they weren't too confident in their positioning or the cooldowns they had up on their half.
Definitely. You know, Equinox is actually grabbed here, and I think he's going to have to blow Metamorphosis to get out if he possibly can. The invulnerability comes out, again having to use it as an escape mechanism. Great heals, great maw to make sure that he is able to get out there.
That's 3 ults to kill an Illidan, though. Keep him alive, excuse me. That's huge.
It certainly is, and it looks like Tuark is actually going to take advantage fully this time and try and get this whole front wall down. They should be able to, I believe, at least get one more tower, but no, it does look like they are forced to back off as Killick does a great job of dropping some well-placed blizzards.
And again, you see Equinox instantly starting the camp, trying to get those auto attacks to reset his ultimate the second that he realizes it's going to be off cooldown for during a map objective spawning. The race to 16's on. That's going to be crucial for this next cap. Let's see if they end up getting it before the shrines actually spawn. But other than that, they ended up burning a 45 seconds left on the Divine Shield. And then also Ma is going to have 57 seconds. No battle momentum either. So that is going to be an absolute 50 seconds. The shrine should spawn during that time. If we see Resurgence not hitting 16. If Tuark forces a fight here, they have 40 seconds where they have an advantage. D-Shield's not up for 20. This is their chance. If they have a chance to win a team fight, it's right here. I'd really like to see them not play passive, fight before the 16. This is the best team fight they've had this whole game.
You know, there's really only room for one team to play super passively. The other team is going to have to make engagements. Historically, it's been Resurgence that has played passively, and that last engagement shows that Tuark does know how to take advantage when they are given to them. And right now, as you mentioned, this is a great time for them to do something, but Resurgence is going to hit 16 first, and those talents are immediately going to get chosen.
And now they'll force the fight. Equinox instantly going in. The minute they get 16, that's where they have to punish the Mosh coming out. Is it going to be enough? Huge!
Oh my goodness, the ring from Jaina securing 3 kills there, followed up by a Maw. Sunshine is going to have to keep running. He's going to leave the last one there to his own devices. That is going to be 4 quick kills, and that is going to be probably 2 alters for Resurgence, who are trying to make a name.
Yeah, what they're doing right now with Resurgence is they aren't going to cap it. They're going to take the fort first. It's going to maximize the value of the shots on bottom and on mid, right? So now they're getting 10 shots rather than they're getting the 8 that they would have gotten originally. Really smart play from them. See, there they go. They're going to lock it in. He's going to wait on the cap, and once they get it down, bam. All right, so now they can look to get the cap. 5 shots. That's going to be 10 on then only 10 left. So now with the advantage that they have, they're in a situation where they're going to really dominate the map. So again, what we see on Towers of Doom at the top level of play as well is the minute that their opponents 2R respond to clear on bottom, you're going to see them probably try and capitalize elsewhere on the map. They do have a little bit of a weaker siege comp when you have Illidan, but I wouldn't doubt the minute you see them possibly overextend for the bottom, that they just try and be like, okay, well, you're going to be on bottom, we're going to take mid, we're going to take top, we're going to capitalize elsewhere. And here you go. They show on bottom, they move to the upper half of the map.
It looks like up top we do have a familiar 1v1 with Daihu and Sunshine trying to get the revenge, but he is actually a distraction as they are trying to take the boss. Trader does a peek in, sees the boss is missing some health, and it looks like Resurgence smartly disengages, doesn't try and force the issue, heads back to their lanes to get some more XP.
Yeah, and they don't end up getting the boss or anything on the upper half of the map either. That might be just because of the lack of siege in their comp, mainly because the Illidan. Zagara is good at it, but they just kind of suffer from that range. But Crowan by himself, great Gravity Lap's going to keep him alive. And they end up defending that fort down below, which if it's a double shrine, will still lead them to ending the game. Only 10 shots left, but it's going to be really close here. Not capitalizing elsewhere on the map, but at the same time, they have a big enough lead that they don't absolutely need to.
Certainly, and it does look like Equinox again working on the camps. They do manage to get that bottom fort once again. 2R has recovered. They are even on structures, and it does look like everyone is going to be congregating towards the mid and top again. Resurgence heading up to support ETC as he takes that top camp.
Yeah, and this camp is going to threaten that fort. Wouldn't be surprised if they try and help kind of escort it into the lane to get maximum effectiveness. The bottom is going to be pressured there. It is pretty close. It's going to be half health. If they do manage to actually get that before the shrine, then it will be 1 potential cap away from ending the game here. But both teams now, I think, a pretty even footing, and all ultimate's going to be up for both sides. It's going to come down to how well the CC is going to be stacked onto the Illidan and whether or not he's going to be able to survive. You're probably going to see them blow their load into him. He will barely almost die, and then a D-shield will come out, Metamorphosis will hit, and then if they aren't able to kill him after that point, it might be a really hard time here for 2R, but this is going to be it.
I do really appreciate Resurgence taking the long way there to make sure they did not get any kind of bush gank on the way down. Again, talking about this super safe play. Oh, he knows the Illidan is missing and throws out a hook, does not manage to get it. The bile does come out to make sure no one can get away. Shrink Ray coming out. Here comes the dance, catching only Kael'thas, who quickly gets a great heal there. Does look like, 3-person Maw. I think it might actually go ahead and kill one.
The Blizzard
Zagara does go down. Big Blizzard's gonna catch some more. Looks like Rhaegar is taking a lot of damage. He's going to lead them on a goose chase here, but 2 already fallen. It is going to be a 3-2 trade with Resurgence ahead. Daihu doing everything he can to push him back so Equinox can grab that, and that is going to be another altar for Resurgence.
I actually feel like that team fight, I just want to shout out to Tiger JK, hit almost a flawless Ancestral there to keep the Kael'thas alive, which was absolutely crucial to having any signs of life when it came to that team fight. What we're going to see here is they back out, they tap the objective on the lower half of the map. Again, just keeping pressure, waiting for level 20 here, and all it's going to take is roughly, it's going to be 2 more shrines for the time being, unless they get more shots, but really what it came down to is where they decided to take that fight. I feel like that would have been a situation with hitting that huge Ancestral onto the primary target like Kael'thas. A lot of that came down to a little bit early burnt bile on Trader for Stitches, and also they keep fighting in chokeholds. They aren't willing to risk taking the fight out in an open setting to where the AoE doesn't get them a lot of value there. So they end up getting huge rings and huge mosses left and right, and the Ancestral isn't enough to turn it.
Well, if anyone's ever wondered what happens if Stitches hooks one of the pumpkin heads, it does immediately aggro onto the closest structure and gets a free escort. So poor Stitches there trying to make a heads-up play, accidentally causes his fort to fall just a little bit faster, but I think it was going down no matter what.
And now keep in mind with the 20-tier advantage, Equinox ends up going with the demonic form. Hasn't popped it quite yet, but he's doing. He is again essentially going to have 50% CDR. They're baiting the boss here. Smart call. Wisp coming in. Really heads up play from LZ.
Absolutely. Had he not had the wisp there, or had not blown it into the boss, that would have been surely a huge play there. The gravity lapse missing ETC, who managed to get a great power slide out there. And this is going to be a 3 altar situation. 2 Arc is going to have to pull off a miracle, if we're honest about it, to get this, because it is such a difficult prospect to try and prevent them from getting any of these.
And they realize they have such a big lead. Look at Equinox. He rotates down bottom and says, okay, if you're going to stop the top 2, it doesn't matter. We have a big enough lead we can sacrifice it. He's going to cap on bottom as far away from his teammates. He actually might be able to end the game here if they delay long enough on top by capping the saplings that spawn in 5 seconds.
Oh, the
Mosh
big
coming
dance
out.
does Oh, with the slide into it to make sure they can't get away. Fantastic ring finishes those 2 off. That is going to be a 2-for-0 trade. ETC is going to go down, however, it looks like. And yes, indeed, here comes Equinox onto the squishy Nougat Center. Shots calling good game. That is going to be it. Yep. Resurgence moving on. They have a place in the Final Four here, and should they win, they will be heading to reserve their spot in the championship.
Absolutely. Spring. I mean, it's a very, very big deal to be a part of that. And honestly, they've set themselves up for a great path to make it. Honestly, their practice is definitely showing off there. They do, excuse me, I actually misclicked there. They do have a kind of linear strategy, I would say. Definitely, I feel like against upper teams, they're going to struggle, but they have played phenomenally here today with their Jaina-oriented play. Melee Assassin with just hard engage and snowball the map. But they are very good at applying pressure against their opponents and never letting up until it's already too late, which you saw at the very end there, taking the smart choice, not needing to force, and still end up walking away with a winning situation there and end up winning the game. So really well done from Resurgence. Huge shout out to each one of the players there. They played phenomenally today, and honestly, 2Arc was put up a great fight. The first team that actually showed kind of signs of life against the powerful compositions and team of Resurgence. So really good job. Well done by them.
Indeed. I'm really happy with what we saw from both teams here. Resurgence, you know, we got to follow them all the way through this tournament last week as well. They couldn't quite cinch last week, but this week they've made it even farther. Really happy with the play from both teams. Again, I'd like to quickly apologize mainly to the 2 teams that just played 2Arc and Resurgence. You guys had a fantastic showing, including those first 7 levels. I am in charge of production, not Dreadnought. Let the record show. I know he has had his fair share of problems in the past. Nothing quite so severe as what I have done, however, and I take full responsibility. Great game from both teams. Apologize to both the teams and the viewers, but really excited to see what Resurgence has to show in their next piece of the bracket here.
Absolutely. And I don't know who's going to be moving on to cast that final session. I don't know if it's been clarified 100%.
It's Gilly, I believe, and it is going to be them covering Resurgence versus King of Blades Alpha, and we'll throw to them momentarily as soon as we get the heads up that they are ready. But fantastic games all day today. Really stunning display by everyone we've seen. Unbelievable plays all the way around. The hooks, the Ancestrals, the rings, the Maws, even the draft. Illidan was picked and won. And
absolutely.
If you are a person who is constantly examining the meta, I think that Dread will be the first to say Illidan needs to be in every Hero League game going forward. He's looking forward to seeing him in the Rank 1 games this week. Dreadnought, I hand it over to you.
I definitely don't feel that way, but okay. But no, yeah, I mean, I think it was a smart pickup considering the comp situation there. But again, they walk away with that kind of ETC Jaina early aggression type composition with a melee assassin and walk away with an early win from Resurgence. So really well done. And again, it's going to be awesome. Stay tuned, guys, because we will be sending you guys to them for the next games that they're going to end up playing. And we will no longer be casting. But just a quick shout out to ESL and everybody for letting us cast these tournaments. And then also the hashtag, I think it's HWC.
I'm sorry, it's HGC.
Oh, HGC, Heroes Global Championship, I believe, right?
Sure.
And then that is the hashtag for this tournament. Also, if you guys want to learn more about this tournament, where you can get involved, more about the Heroes of the Storm esports scene, it's just going to be, I believe it's, what is it, heroesofthestorm.com/esports?
Yep, you got it. First try. Right. Also, don't forget to tweet at Esports Heroes to let them know what you guys thought. If you'd like to see more casting from Dreadnought and myself, please don't hesitate to pester them with that information, as I'm sure they would love to hear it. Prior to the mess up at level 7, we did a pretty good job. So thanks so much again for watching, guys. Dread, King of Blades is currently still playing against Cognitive, it looks like, on Gilly's stream. I know that was our last match of the day. Are you interested in hosting Gilly to go ahead and get them over there for some more games?
Yeah, no, definitely. Let the viewers watch the games, everything else. Wait out the 2-minute delay, though. Keep that in mind. Do not bail over too soon, so we seem like retards who throw over too
I
soon.
would
But
never
yeah,
do that. That's not
we're gonna
something.
send.
My production is so on point. There's no way that that would happen. So let me go ahead and start the host here. And
Don't type it in, and I'll tell you when you should send it.
don't send it yet, is what you're saying.
Yeah, keep it typed, but I'll let you know when to send it.
Okay, all right. I'm trusting your countdown here.
Okay.
If a mess up should occur at this juncture, I would like the record to show that Dreadnought is fully responsible for whatever happens next. Oh man, it is going to be Gilly and Zoya, however, for that next game with Resurgence. Please follow along with them, guys. We've seen Resurgence even last week. Dread's been casting them in Divergent. It's really been something of a Cinderella story as they are making it to the final two here. They've shown that they have what it takes. 2Arc, no slouches by any means. They had a great showing today, and really outside the box thinking, bringing in Lunara there in that last game. I'm really excited to see what happens next. Should Resurgence cinch it, it's going to be exciting to see them in the Spring Championship.
I'm sorry, I'm just keeping track of when you got to type in the host button.
No problem at all, of course.
Wait for it. We're close.
Okay, I'm ready. Shh. Everybody has to be quiet, otherwise we're gonna mess this up.
I'm listening to the cast.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Keep in mind that Li Ming was banned out this week. However, it's not going to be too much longer until we're going to see her again. We do have more casts coming up this week. Mark your calendar. Follow at Tempo Dread on Twitter. Follow at Josheb Gaming on Twitter. We will update you guys and let you know. The Dreadshab cannot be stopped. And Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that's right, I just coined it. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week, I think we're going to see some more games for the Spring Championship qualifiers. And I will leave you with that. Thanks so much, everybody. Enjoy the games.